What up? What up?
What up, man? What's going on?
Man,
Ooh, I came in hot.
Episode 170, baby. We back in the house.
170. Wow.
170.
Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Carbon Footprint Podcast. He is Juan, and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with the drink of the day.
Dude, you might have created a new favorite for me here,
Dude,
man. This one is so good, and I might fuck this up, so you're gonna have to help me out here. What are we calling it?
Ooh,
We didn't even think about this before.
Man.
You're just throwing stuff together. But I'm gonna tell y'all what's in it first. We muddled 5 blackberries, half of a lime, 3/4 ounces of simple syrup. You're gonna muddle that in the bottom of a shaker. You're gonna add the ice and the 2 ounces of bourbon. Am I on it?
Yep, you on it.
Shake it up. Then you're gonna pour it in a rocks glass with ice. Top off with a little bit of club soda, and then garnish. Super important, with a lemon peel, not the lime, a lemon peel. And then we like to throw in an extra little blackberry in there for looks. For looks. And if you let the blackberry sort of absorb that or marinate in that for a little bit, it does taste good, man. So
it's called a blackberry malt.
A blackberry malt.
Yeah, so I got it off a website.
Might be my new favorite jam. And by the way, we're doing a little Jefferson's, the small batch bourbon today, which is really, really good. I've liked the Jefferson's. I think I was telling you, I've tried Jefferson's Ocean before, which it wasn't bad, but it was like, I was disappointed because I was like looking forward to it. And to me, this one was like way better.
Okay.
And the Jefferson's Ocean was like...
Well, you know what, man? We need to rename it then, man. Because I'm looking at this recipe here. The recipe actually calls for Irish whiskey. Which I've actually tried this with a different bourbon. And on accident, I bought this one today. You know, not really by accident, but they didn't have the other one that I tried. And this one is better.
So that's where the malt thing comes from. I wonder. It's like, we call it a Kentucky malt instead of
No, I think because we're using the Jeffersons, I think we call it moving on up.
Ooh, I like this. Damn it. Y'all heard it here. I think that's the first time we've named the drink on the pod. Usually we come up with
on the fly, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. We definitely didn't.
Moving on up.
I don't know how we didn't think about that. All right, moving on up, damn it. We having the moving on up. So muddle 5 blackberries, 3/4 ounce of simple syrup, half of a lime squeezed in, throw in the ice, add the bourbon, shake it up, pour it in a rocks glass, add the club soda, and then garnish with a lemon peel, and then throw in the blackberry for a little extra.
Yeah, and I think this thing will
so
go well with any bourbon, or probably even with the Irish whiskey. But this Jefferson's
so good, man.
Very small batch is what it says is hitting right with this one. So
it's real good. And you said you had it with the Buffalo Trace.
Yep. And
you said it was very different.
It was different, man. It was sort of a stronger bourbon taste, which I don't mind.
No, not at all.
But this one, I don't know.
This is like really refreshing for a bourbon drink, man.
Yep.
This is very. I'm thinking of like the.
If you don't like
a mule,
bourbon,
like a Kentucky mule,
yes.
refreshing, or like a bourbon sour, or even
And I have people in my family who actually don't like the taste of bourbon, but sometimes when I make drinks for them, depending on what it is, they'll go, "Oh, wait a minute, like that's really good," and I don't taste too much of the bourbon. This, I think, would be one of those.
Yeah, I love doing that, man. You know, you make something out like a family get together,
Yep.
and they're like, "Oh, you drink that?" You're like, "Watch this."
All right,
That's awesome, man.
Hit me with the Carbon Footprint. What you got?
Dude, I think I'm on a roll here of having like nice ones. So
You feeling all right?
I might be going through a crisis, man. I am. I picked one that I thought it was a sweet story.
Okay.
And I don't know what's wrong with me, but no, I don't think I'm okay. So mine is going out to this San Francisco biotech company, man. I had to pull up the name and make sure I get it right.
Okay.
But it's called Loyal's Drug, LOY-001 is like the sort of the code name for the drug. And the drug is intended to help large breed dogs extend their life. And it's the first drug of its kind. And it's going to be available by 2026. And so the idea is that you give this to your dog, and it will extend. It's going to slow down some age-related processes and prevent diseases and all that. And so your dogs are going to have longer lives because of this drug. I'm like, dude, as you know,
what's it
you have
called?
a dog. So it's called the Loyals drug, or their code name is LOY-001. And it's just extended. Now the caveat, it has to be a large breed dog, so it has to be over 40 pounds.
Yep.
That's what the drug was sort of designed and intended for. But you know, I mean, you have dogs. I have a dog like, dude, they become such a part of your family, and I
Oh my
think
God,
and some dogs have shorter lifespans than others, especially the bigger the dog, they tend to have shorter lifespans. So that was just really cool, man. I saw that, I'm like, wow, man, how many people would, you know, if you get 3-4 more years out of your dog,
Fuck, man, you get 2 more years, man. Like
with good quality of life, by the way, right? It's like you're just slowing down the aging process. You know, like your dog gets to experience more with you and all that, and then you get more time with that. I saw that shit. I was like, oh man, it's kind of cool. It's wild because I would have never thought that somebody would be working on something like that.
That's true, man.
You know, but it's like clearly someone who had a passion probably for, you know, dogs or whatever. But it's like, man, we really do figure out everything at some point in time, bro. Like it's people are fascinating, bro.
Dude, so I have and you know this, man. I have an 11-year-old lab, and I've had 2 Labrador retrievers.
Damn, 11.
Yeah, he's 11. So I've had 2 previously, man. One of them lived to 13, the other one lived to 14.
Mm-hmm.
But the one lived to 14, like she was at 14, it was over. You know what I mean? Like we ended up, like nothing happened to her. She just was really old. We ended up putting her down.
Quality of life, just
Yeah, exactly. But I'm watching my current one at 11 years old, and he's always had this bump in his chest, and the vet has always said, "Oh, it's sort of like this pocket of sort of like this fat, like it's fine." Mm-hmm. But as he's aged, he's gotten a lot of those throughout his body. And so when we take him to the vet, they always go like, "Yeah, it's fine." But I go, "Man, that's a lot." And I always wonder, like, is it from like processed food, right? Because we give him like I give him Iams, which I'm not trying to bash Iams or anything, but I wonder, like, is it giving him these processed food for 11 years of his life? And maybe there's plenty of other dogs that doesn't happen to, and he's still in decent health, right?
And it didn't happen to any of your other labs, so it's not like a lab issue?
No, I never had one. Something like that. I think one of my labs had maybe like 1 or 2. Like this dude has like 6.
Oh, wow.
Like he has a huge one on his chest that seems to kind of like has kept growing over the years. But anyway, so and you know, we still go for walks every day, and he's definitely slowed down. And so I'm kind of almost like preparing myself that I go, man, I probably only have 2 to 3 years left with this guy. And
he's become part of your routine every day. I know you walk with him every single day,
every
first
day,
thing in the
no
morning.
matter what.
It's just man. They're like, you know, your kids, or just like they're just part of your family, like everybody else, man.
Man.
So I thought it was cool.
I'm pretty sure I like him more than my kids.
I can see that. There's some days I like my dog, but I'm like, he don't talk back.
Yeah, that's right. They never talk back, man.
It's so loyal.
Sometimes this motherfucker does ignore me though. He's funny. Like he'll be laying down, looking outside the door, and you know his name is Bear, and I'll be like, Bear, Bear, Bear. And then what he does is he won't even turn his head, but you see his eyeballs go like this, look to the side, like almost like, what, motherfucker? Like, I'm chilling here. Leave me alone. But no, he's a great dog.
And y'all don't know what Sean dogs look like, but if you understood how appropriate the name Bear is for this dog, it's because he looks like a giant black bear. Like he's so big, it doesn't make any sense. He's so big.
He lost weight, man. He's down to 100.
He's down to 100. Dude, my husky, I feel like he's huge, and he's big for a husky. He's really big. Like huskies usually weigh about 55 to 60 pounds, full grown. He just got him weighed. He's 71 pounds, 71.8. So he's 72 essentially. Yep. And he's huge for a husky, like real thick. And I'm like, he still looks like a puppy next to a bear. So big, man. But dude,
so is this thing readily available?
It will be in 2025 or 2026. I think is when they're saying the FDA is going to 2026. So it's going to be approved by the FDA, and then it's going to be available for use. So I don't know if you just have to go to your vet or you can buy it over the counter, but it's going to be readily available.
Nice job, guys. Bear will probably beat that. By
Can we get him in on the clinical trials?
Motherfuckers.
Bear beats.
What's this company's name? Fuck them.
Like you made an impact on my life because I knew what he could have had a year sooner.
Yep. Now I'm just mad.
But that's interesting though. If you give it to him at like 14, does it still work? I mean, maybe it does,
I
but
would
not to its
imagine
full
not.
extent.
You're right. Because I mean, well,
Because if it slows down, it's only slowing down what's going to happen, not what's already happened.
right, it's not turning back the clock, the hands of time, right? I would imagine that it's maybe preventing some of the things that cause them these sort of aging effects that eventually kill them.
Yeah. Wow. That shit would be kind of crazy. Like something happens and then you're like, oh, there's drugs available.
Yeah, it would be like like if your parent died from like dementia and then the next year they come out with the fucking thing that cures it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, damn, fuckers, you getting like a year? Like there was no clinical trials like a year or two ago.
Could have signed him up for. Be like, yeah, we would have signed him up for an experiment. You guys, yeah.
Absolutely.
Damn, man. But yeah, shout out to that, man. I think like that's gonna be impactful for people to make. I think more memories, longer memories with their dogs, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
absolutely.
Because yeah,
All right, man. Mine is going out to an Ohio judge who gave an alternative sentence for someone that committed assault.
okay,
Okay, so this guy, the judge is Tim Gilligan, and it was based on this lady, Rosemary Hain, 39 years old. She was displeased with her Chipotle order. And
okay.
they got video of her, like I guess she was like kind of like arguing with I don't know if she was arguing, she was complaining about what she got.
Okay.
And then she takes her bowl. She got like a bowl from Chipotle. If anybody's ever been there, it's sort of like a burrito bowl, rice, beans, a meat, and maybe some other shit on top of it. Takes the whole bowl, throws it at the employee.
Because it was bad.
Because I guess, she was just not. She said it was nasty or whatever. They
Forgot the
right?
guac.
So she pleaded. So she has to go to court, right?
Okay.
She gets arrested. She goes to court. Pleads guilty.
Okay.
Faces about 180 days with like I think half of it gets suspended. So the judge gives her a choice, and he goes, "Yo, I'll give you 90 days in jail, or you do 30 days in jail, and then you do 60 days mandatory service at working at a fast food restaurant."
Okay.
And his thought process behind it, and I am going to quote him here. He goes, "I was thinking, what else can I do rather than have her sit in jail? I don't see her as a greater risk than anyone else who walks in off the street." And he's just like, so I think that putting her in this place will help her to have empathy for these fast food workers that have to deal with customers and angry customers on a daily basis. So, and it's funny, man, because I read this story from two different news sources.
Okay.
And one of them was like a really positive thing. So the positive one was going like, hey, like this is cool. It's gonna help the person to have empathy, and it doesn't make them sit in jail, and kind of teaches a different lesson.
Yeah.
The other one was like, these fucking Democrats. It's like, what are these guys doing? Like they're gonna, what was it? Like why? Like is working at a fast food chain the same thing as being in jail? Like, what's the deterrent for someone committing assault?
I'm confused, man. How do we associate Democrat with that?
Oh no, because he is a Democrat. Unfortunately, like he
The
actually
judge?
is the judge. Yeah. Remember, we got to vote on judges.
Forgot about this. That's interesting. So,
Yeah.
What was your thought process? Because I had my own when you were telling me the story, but what do you think about this?
I think I think my thought process was swayed by both articles.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
I read the first one was almost like the good news one, and I was like, oh, that is kind of cool. But the other one was just like, hey, like, are you degrading the fast food industry
by making it a punishment?
by making it a punishment? And then they actually went into like, okay, so how do you extend this, right? So does a bank robber get to work in a bank? Does a fucking patient does a patient get to be a doctor? You know what I mean? And there's like,
What does a priest do? Does he have to go back to the church?
Does a rapist get to be a sex worker?
You have to start an OnlyFans
So no, man. So that's why I was just like, huh, man. You know, it's it's one of those things, man. That makes you wonder. You know, when we develop opinions on certain things, it really like the shit that you read matters.
No, absolutely. What you consume is it's like food, right?
Yeah,
like what you feed
bro.
your brain, man, is like the stuff that's gonna come out.
So matters,
or-
man.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it was two publications that I did not think were necessarily opposite, but the person writing the column on both sides was, I'd say, one of them was like really positive, just going like, hey, he could have had her sit in jail, but instead he taught her, he taught her a different lesson this way, and hopefully that. You know, like even the person that was where the food was thrown at came out and goes, "Yo, that's better than having to sit in jail."
Wow.
And the judge goes, "Yo, like this is not like this woman's not a threat to society," and like she just lost her temper and she had just a bad reaction.
Dude, maybe I'm just fucked up. Not maybe. We could just leave it as I'm fucked up. I didn't think about it being a punishment at all, about the fast food work thing. Like, that didn't even dawn on me, like, at all.
Really?
The first thing I thought of was when he goes, she's not a threat to society. I'm like, the fuck she's not. Who throws a plate of food at anyone who is in, like, bro, we've all had bad days.
Yeah.
And we've been frustrated and we've gotten the wrong order for someone. I have never been tempted to throw it at the fast food worker.
Yeah, no, me neither.
There's something wrong with you, bro, if you do that to somebody.
Yeah, but like, you know what? Is it any different than somebody pissing you off and you throwing a punch?
No, but I think
But when
it's the
somebody-
same thing. But that person
yeah.
throwing a punch, you would put in jail for the 90 days. That's what I'm saying. Is like, if you throw food at someone,
Yeah.
you know what kind of level of mad you got to be to throw a burrito bowl at somebody, bro?
Yeah, but you know, I've seen people like that are like unreasonably sort of like, you know, get mad kind of like unreasonably.
Hey, there's something wrong with you. I stand by that. There's something. I don't know.
Well, then
And
maybe-
I'm too far in the other
well, maybe
direction.
in
Like,
that
not
case-
much gets me mad.
Maybe in that case, they should be going to a mental facility rather than jail.
I think, and that's a whole different podcast. I
Right.
think the problem with the mental facilities here is that they're not helpful. Like the
No, we call them jail.
yeah, exactly. They You're not wrong. It's like there is something wrong with you if you get angry enough to throw I think anybody who gets physical or throws something or whatever, I don't care what kind of day you're having in the frustration, there's something wrong with you if you can't control that. Like, most people can go through life without ever doing something like that.
Yeah.
So, like, if you can or if you can't, like, and listen, we all make mistakes and people have bad days and whatever, but clearly there is something wrong with you if you can throw a plate of food at somebody you've never met before because they fucked up the order. Like,
Yeah. Dude, but have you ever
it's not a
been-
reasonable response.
But I think that, have you ever been in a position where you sort of snap?
Not to that extent, no.
No, maybe so.
It's
so,
a different, right?
listen,
like, my snap is different than
right.
that
So
one,
maybe
clearly.
maybe
Yeah,
your
yeah.
snap is not like that, but then, you know, I don't know. Like, I've seen rational guys punch holes in walls, right? Because you go like, I'm not, and that's the rational is also like, I'm not gonna hit this person, but I'm so fucking mad, and I'm gonna punch a hole to this drywall. Right,
Yeah, that doesn't occur to
I'm
me.
Not
Yeah.
gonna, no, and I wouldn't want to do
Yeah,
it either.
yeah.
There might be a
That
beam,
shit's gonna hurt
There might
me.
be a beam behind that
Yeah,
shit. Like,
fuck
I'm not
that.
doing it. But you know, like to get to a point to where you just want to fucking explode. And again, different things tick
Go to
people
therapy,
off, man.
bro. Smoke a joint. Have a drink. There's something fucking wrong with you. I said what I said.
I respect
Fucking get it. Says the guy who punched a hole in the drywall.
No, that wasn't me.
Bro,
I did push a closet door in one time.
I have done that. But I couldn't close the fucking door and I got mad and I shook it and it came off the whole thing. I'm trying to think of like the angriest that I've been where I've like broke something or like I'm not a thrower of things. Like,
Yeah.
if like, and to me, like if I get there, there's clearly something wrong. You know what I mean? Like there's something like off. Like
Yeah, but then I think that sometimes you could be in a space of where you sort of like, because there are situations where you go, oh, if that happens to me, I'm just walking away.
Yeah, I don't
right?
even like being around people like that.
Right. But then if you're in a place where you can't, you know what I mean? Where it's like you're sitting there and you're taking it and you're taking it and you're taking it. Like I can say again, I can see and listen.
I think we call those school shooters though.
Yeah, but my level of tolerance is different than yours. Is different than the neighbor, right? Like we all have different tolerance levels, man. And who knows? And again, I always kind of go to the side of like you never know what people are going through. Like just in general.
No, for sure.
Now,
I would never go fuck this whole put her in jail.
I would never go to fucking Chipotle and fucking throw food at anybody.
Dude, how mad do you have to be
Right.
to throw? What kind of day are you having that you throw?
Pretty fucking bad, I guess.
Yeah, dude, to throw a bowl of food at someone.
Yeah, because especially at Chipotle, you could just go like,
and just walk away.
It over or leave.
Yeah, give me another one, or just can I talk to a manager? Is more reasonable. Like, yo, this shit.
Then you throw the bowl at
bro.
them.
There's like 1,700 responses before the one she did, and the one that she did made the most sense to her at the time. It's just like, nah, there's something wrong with her. This judge fucked up.
Put her in jail.
Fuck these Democrats.
See, man, you were swayed.
Somebody's gonna clip that one day, and it's just gonna out of context, and it's gonna be like, "Juan hates Democrats."
Yeah.
Don't worry, people. If you listen long enough, you'll hear me say "fuck Republicans" too.
And fuck independence.
And fuck independence. And
fuck them all. Yeah, I heard something that Jon Stewart. Is it Jon Stewart?
The comedian?
Yeah, the comedian.
Daily Show guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about him?
That like he might be considering running for
A
president.
presidential run? Fucking
I don't know about.
We've had everybody.
I don't know about now. I don't know if it's now
At
or
some
in the
point.
future. But I know that he's been responsible for kind of like getting shit passed.
Dude, he's gotten a lot of the 9/11 stuff passed
Yeah.
for the emergency workers, especially the firefighters who, as far as getting them like medical benefits and stuff,
really?
because they've had like lingering issues with their lungs, like a lot of cancers and that sort of
Yeah.
thing. And he's been a really prominent figure, sort of like leading that movement of getting those guys benefits like for the rest of their life, basically, because a lot of them end up sick. And it's directly tied to 9/11, and they weren't being taken care of, man. A lot of these guys were left on their own after they retired and had to like pay their own medical bills. And
Yeah, they were saying that this dude has gotten more things passed than some congressman.
Yeah, dude, he's been and he's a really thoughtful. I think the thing with
And
Jon
he
Stewart,
actually seems like he gives a fuck.
yes, absolutely, because he was doing all this while he's the host of the Daily Show, right? Like prime of his career, a really popular show. I think. The issue with someone like Jon Stewart is, like you're speaking of Republicans, is like, or like Democrats, is like, and a lot of these guys on these shows tend to lean left. And what'll happen is that you've automatically lost half of that audience, right? Because they know sort of where you stand already, even though he's going to have to pick a ticket. So I guess it doesn't matter. But really thoughtful, really smart guy. Like you said, I think he really does give a shit. It's just you wonder what happens when the machine sucks you up, right? Like I think everybody enters politics.
What are you gonna be able to do, and then what are you gonna be? Where are your hands gonna be?
Yeah, exactly. Like what do you like? What is it that you want to do, and then what is it that you're actually going to be able to do? Because like I think all of these guys enter politics with good intentions, and then the machine just sucks you up, bro, and you're not bigger than the machine. Right. And it's just like, you get. Every once in a while, you get a disruptor in there and maybe rattles it a little bit, but it's too established. It's been around too long. There's too many people whose livelihood and life and whatever depend on it, and legacies and maybe generational wealth. It's like you're not going to beat the machine. Like it's just, whether it's left or right, like it's just too big. Dude, I think Mark Cuban is actually, like while we're talking about that, I feel like he's been preparing a presidential run.
Really?
But dude, between selling the majority stake,
he has said that
he said hell no.
Right.
He did. And listen, I look at somebody like Mark Cuban and I would go, why? Run, bro. You live a great life. You do whatever. But you look at him selling his majority stake.
That's precisely why he doesn't want to run.
The Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, dude. It's like, so why would you do this? And then he sells the majority stake. He's already said he's leaving Shark Tank next year. He's doing all, and I know he's pushing 70. you know, his kids are getting a little bit older, and so you go, okay,
Is
maybe
he-
he
is
wants
he
more
in his
time.
60s, bro?
Dude, Mark Cuban is like late 60s. I'm almost positive. He's got to be
Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna look it up.
66, 67 at least. So you go, okay, I get that, and then maybe you want to spend more time with your family. Maybe your kids are getting older. You want some grandkids, whatever the case may be. And so maybe it's a time thing, but I just look at what he's done on the business side as far as the whole the cost plus drugs and that sort of thing, and you go, man, is he preparing a presidential run? Is that what he's
65.
doing? Dude, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
he's about 5 years too early.
yeah. You run at 70, you get elected at 73, you die at 81 in office. Yeah, listen, fuck, I wouldn't put it past him, bro. Our current president's on life support, and then the next one might end up being old as hell again.
By the time, yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but Jon Stewart, man, there are worse people, man, and given the state, I just think he's. It's always interesting to me when you have a guy who's always clearly been for one side. Like, I'm curious to see what ticket. I'm going to assume he's going to pick the Democratic ticket, and then
I would imagine so.
Yeah, and then you're going to just lose a lot of interest, no matter what you've done, because it's like he's done something for a group of people that tend to vote right. So like he's been really, really involved with law enforcement and the firefighters and that sort of thing, and that's generally a well, I guess it depends what part of the country you're in, but that tends to vote. Republican.
Yep.
And but then if you watch his show or you listen to his thoughts and all that stuff, he's very reasonable. I would say he's pretty
Absolutely.
much in the middle. But Hollywood's pretty left, and a lot of those shows are pretty left, and a lot of the thought processes and what the social things are. But so it'd be really interesting to see a guy like that and what they'll dig up, because they'll always make a villain out of you no matter what side you're on. And so. Yeah, I almost look at someone like that and just goes, it doesn't even matter what you've done or how thoughtful you are. The machine just eats you alive because you're team blue or team red or whatever.
The Rock came out recently and said that he was approached by one of the parties to run, and he was like, "Oh yeah, flattered, but no."
Dude, the smartest people in this country don't want that job, and there's a reason why. And there's no upside to it. Like if you're a guy or girl, but I use guy because it just hasn't happened yet. But like, you have to be sort of, the ego has to be what drives you there, and you have to just be obsessed with the power of the position. But it doesn't make you rich. It doesn't make you. It immediately makes 50% of the country hate you. If you are a smart person, you can build wealth in a lot of other ways, and then maybe go become president. So you don't get the young, hungry, thoughtful person to run for that office. You get the person who's already done it, and it totally just becomes like an ego thing. And then the other part of me is like, do you need that? Do you need the ego to run something like the United States? Because it is a job that you need thick skin in. It is a job that you're going to be hated by half the people. And so you have to have this level of, you have to be a sociopath, and you have to have a level of arrogance to do it. Like, I don't think there's ever been a president that wasn't a sociopath, right? Like I would say from Trump down to Barack, down to Bush, Reagan, like, you have to be a selfish and psychopathic sociopath to do that. Like, you have to be, like, there's no way, dude, there's no way. If you can't tell a reasonable human being, hey, you're going to take this job for 4 years. It pays you $250K a year, whatever, $300K a year. It did at the time. For the rest of your life, you can't do anything else. You can't step out in public without security. Your family can't. Your kids can't live normal lives. Your wife can't live a normal, like, all that stuff. No reasonable person signs up for that for the trade-off. Like, there isn't, I don't know, you can make 30 grand giving a speech every weekend. Like, it's just.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
Yeah.
That does make sense, man. I also think that, your level of influence. Like, I think once, after you're president, whether you're loved or hated, like, the level of influence is there for life.
Sure. Like, you look at Jimmy Carter, who, I know his wife just passed, and he's been in hospice. Hated as a president, became beloved as a civilian afterwards.
Yeah, because during his presidency, that's when the whole stagflation happened. Like, the economy was in the fucking toilet. And then, Ronald Reagan, kind of saved us.
Yeah,
right?
he was a one-term president, right? Like Carter was a one-term president, not liked at all. And then now people speak of him with this, like, reverence and this, and you're just like, that's not what it was like when he was there. Like, it just...
Yeah, I wasn't saying that shit when
he wasn't saying that shit when and yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems like such a shitty job. Like, I wouldn't want it.
Yep.
But yeah, Jon Stewart, man,
Yeah, we'll see, man.
it would be interesting. He's a funny as hell, and he's pretty witty. So the speeches are gonna slap.
Oh yeah. You get the fucking what are they
Oh
doing
my god,
now?
the State of the Union, bro. I don't even know. Trump,
No, but I mean, like, what's going on
battle
now
cipher.
with
Trump was holding like those Red Bull freestyle contests.
Nah, Jon Stewart would smoke. Smoke him.
Yo, that debate would be kind of fire, though. Oh my god, bro, Trump and
He wouldn't
Stewart?
do it. Trump wouldn't do it.
You don't think so with Jon Stewart? Yeah, you're probably right.
Dude, he's
man.
been skipping out on all the other ones.
Yeah, but that's because he fucking won. He doesn't need him.
Yeah, he doesn't need him.
Like he already
And I
won
think
that.
that he's at that level of arrogance where he goes like, "Nah, it doesn't matter." What you mean, Jon Stewart, the comedian? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Oh
know,
man,
we'll
would
see.
it be entertaining,
Dude, talk to me about these scientists in space, man. What's going on?
bro? Evidently, you can't reach full ejaculation in space. I was so sad for these astronauts. This is like 1,700 weeks in a row. I'm talking about somebody jerking off, but and don't ask me how I stumbled upon it. I think there's a study that.
But what does that?
NASA did.
Hold on. What does that mean? You can't.
You can't reach full ejaculation in space. There's okay. I gotta see now. I have to pull up the thing because there's a method behind it.
Explain.
So
Like, are you not getting a full erection?
you're getting the erection. However, it was I gotta Google jerking off in space.
Gravity fucks you up.
A study on rats simulated space environments suggests that being weightless and exposed to space radiation unprotected by Earth's atmosphere could have I don't even know what that word is, but a bad effect on the vascular tissues associated with erectile dysfunction. So basically the space flight on the tissues, I guess it simulated like erectile dysfunction. And so what they were saying is essentially, I guess you can't get fully hard and you can't reach the point of climax in space. I want to know who volunteered for this shit. You have astronauts just up there wagging. I mean, it says they use rats, but come on.
I was just gonna say,
You can't make a
how are
rat
they
jerk
using that?
off.
No, dude, has no woman ever got pregnant like in the space station?
So
Do they have to be fucking up there?
no, you got to put them on birth control, right? You have to. You have to assume if you send a woman to the space station with a bunch of men, like somebody's on birth control, bro.
I would imagine
It would be borderline
Somebody's
irresponsible.
fucking, yeah.
Actually, it might be kind of fire. Like, because there's like,
Dude, could you imagine being the woman up there? So like, listen,
and you're knocked up and you got to take a
no,
fucking
you're not-
capsule back to Earth, bro. Sorry, go ahead.
You know, so like in the military, for instance, right? It's mostly guys,
Mm-hmm.
and so women are like their looks like it's elevated because there's not that many.
Mm-hmm.
What about on the fucking space station?
Oh, you're the only
You
one.
could send fucking Lizzo up there. And she'd be
Why
fucking
you got to
queen.
pick on? They're like, oh, they sent an extra room for the space station. Wait, it has legs.
It's an extra
Why
wing.
we always got to end up
Why you
fucking with Lizzo, bro? I'm trying to be better.
I'm sorry. You can send the chick from last week, the nub.
Bro, it's like, you're right, though, because women are elevated by their environment. We are, too.
I would
say
imagine.
women, but
I would imagine anybody.
people are elevated
Right,
by their
right, right. If it's,
environment.
if it's a bunch of women and some like mediocre dude walks
Yeah.
in, it's just like everybody's going, oh my god, like he's way hotter than he would be in a room full
No,
of
for
men.
sure. Like if I was the only male guard at an all-female prison, you know, I would
yeah.
end up being the Brad Pitt of the bunch.
They got damn one fine.
Yeah. And then like 4 more guys walk in, they'd be like, well, he's all right.
But dude, on the space station, bro, you have to like.
Yeah,
it
you
has
could
to
be
have
an
that.
ogre. No, but dude,
But I don't know if they have birth control.
yo, kid, because I would think you have to prepare for this, right? Like, what happens if you get knocked up in space?
Yeah.
Do we even know that? Maybe you want that to happen. Because we are, you know, if we're going to populate.
for science?
For science, bro. Be like, send them up there and be like, yo, I need you to knock each other up for science. You just put. Now, if you really wanted that, you would just film the next Real World in the space station, bro. Just have
Oh,
MTV do
yeah,
the
there
Real
you
World on
go.
the space station, send a bunch of people up there. And then, you, like, if can you give birth in space? What does that do to a baby? And then we have to work on populating like other planets, right? In the moon at some point in time, we're gonna have to jet from here.
Yeah.
So
At some point.
you got to figure it out, bro. What a phenomenal like sponsorship opportunity! If you got to send pods to rescue the baby or the pregnant lady, bro. This rescue is brought to you by Huggies, and then you just fucking you have like this space capsule. I'm always thinking about like where can you get money out of this?
Well, didn't fucking Elon make the rocket? The head of the rocket look like a dick.
It looks like a dick. And
Well, he
you
did
asked
it
him why, and he
from
said,
Spaceballs.
So he did from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like, why did you do that? And people are expecting this like scientific response, and you just said, oh, because look at the one from Spaceballs, and I thought it was
cool.
funny. I want to be that rich. You just go build a rocket, make it look like a dick. But like, what if it doesn't work? We'll find out. Like, just make it look like it worked in Spaceballs. It has to work.
Dude, I gotta tell you about these fucking robbers. So you ever go to Kohl's?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Kohl's department store, for those of you who don't know. There's a couple of robbers that went in there, stole a bunch of shit. I think they stole like about a little over $2,000 worth of stuff.
Yo, that's like 200 in Kohl's cash, though.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. So, as the story goes, I guess so this is in Colorado.
Okay.
Theft under $2,000 is a misdemeanor,
Okay.
but over that is a felony.
Okay.
Okay, so when they were being charged, they said that they stole $2,094. So
Okay.
it made it a felony.
So it made it a felony.
In the defense, they like these things were on sale,
Stop.
and we had Kohl's and they have Kohl's coupons that can be applied to them,
So they bring it down to a
so they can try to bring it down to a misdemeanor.
How do you apply coupons in court? That's wild.
But the prosecutors were like, no, man, that's for paying customers. That shit doesn't work for you.
Oh, so you can't use. Yo,
but the defense was like, yo, shit was on sale.
Yo, shout out to their lawyer giving it. Yeah. Shit was like, listen, man, we
And
get these
is it
coupons. You gotta apply.
2,000? And is it 2,000? And I'm assuming it's $2,000 at retail, not cost.
Oh, that's a good point because is it $2,000 worth of the? Yeah, because is it the cost at the time that you steal it?
I think
or is it
it's-
MSRP?
I think it's MSRP. It's like whatever the price is.
or the value of the items.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's
not
funny
the
as
cost.
fuck though, because I immediately thought of Kohl's Cash when you said Kohl's. I'm pretty sure I've let so much of that shit expire.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah, I'm like, they get me every time. It's like, oh, if you spend $15 more, we'll give you 10 back. And I'm like, what a deal. Like, let me go pick something for 15.
Yep, and you go grab something that's Nike, and they go like, oh no, you can't use it.
You
on
can't use it. It doesn't count.
that. Fucking guys, man.
So true.
And Kohl's has some cool shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But like the really cool shit, you bring it up and they're just like, yeah, this doesn't apply to them.
Yeah, the coupons don't work on that. You can't use the code. Sorry, the 25% off doesn't work for. Yeah, and you're just like, well, what does it work on? And it'll be like Sonoma.
Yeah.
Like, pass.
You're like, I don't want none of that.
Apartment 9.
Take
You're like,
all this cold cash.
also pass. Take all this.
Oh, that's it. That's the other fucking brand in there, right? The
Apartment 9.
Nine.
All right. I can't get no Under Armour. Like, oh, so basically none of the good shit.
None of the good shit.
And then wait, don't J-Lo got a clothing brand there?
No, I think Mark Anthony used
He definitely used to. I used to buy
he-
a lot of shit from Mark Anthony's clothing
Yeah?
line, man. Yeah. And I don't think
I
he
don't
has
know.
it
I
anymore.
don't know if J-Lo has.
I thought she had a clothing line there. I could be
might.
wrong. I feel like everybody ends up having a clothing line at Kohl's once. It's like a rite of passage to get into fashion now. It's like, did you sell at Kohl's?
How did it do?
Like every girl from Laguna Beach has had a clothing line. Or that, or you do furniture, right? Like Cindy Crawford, like Sofia Vergara. I feel like they all end up doing.
They
like,
do it like was it Rooms to Go?
Probably.
I think
It
so.
sounds right.
I think it's like Rooms to Go.
They all do like furniture or something. Yeah, man.
Fuck them. Yo,
Fuck 'em.
dude, tell me about these Cyber Monday sales.
Bro, we're going through like a whole historically high interest rates. The job market is fine, but they keep talking about this pending recession and people tightening their belts and yada yada.
Yeah.
And we had a historic Cyber Monday. I gotta get the number. I think it's like $12.4 billion.
Dude, we get
of
stupid
sales.
at Christmas time, bro.
Yeah, we spend an
we get
unreasonable
stupid
amount of
at
money
Christmas time.
on Christmas, dude. It's unreasonable is the best way I can put it. Yeah, $12.4 billion on Cyber Monday, which is a record. It's the most ever spent on Cyber Monday.
And that's not even counting what happened on Black Friday.
Nope.
Which Black
It's
Friday
just
is
Cyber
fucking
Monday.
starting on Wednesday now.
Yeah.
Right. So
And then Cyber Monday starts Saturday and it lasts to the
there
next
you
Saturday.
go. So it's like it's almost like 2 weeks worth of worth of Christmas
sales.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, $12.4 billion on Cyber Monday, man. In an economy right now where people are like, oh, should there be some tightening? Should there be some kind of austerity measures taken or whatever? And it's like, yeah, no. People are just
Not when it
spending-
comes to Christmas, bro.
Not when it comes to, yeah, we all spend an ungodly amount of money. Dude, so my kids are at this age where they're not asking for big shit anymore. And they're not asking for like expensive shit anymore. And part of me goes, well, fuck, does that mean they just have everything now? And like, and that's what it is. Like kids these days,
Yes,
like pretty
bro.
much and you get everything. It doesn't even have to be an occasion, right? Like you just end up sort of spoiling your kids. But all the shit they ask for is all really like, books, and they ask for these like little card games or whatever, like nothing expensive, man.
And do you feel like shit that you're not gonna be able to give them anything like that's really cool?
And so now I'm looking for shit to buy that's like big and cool
Yeah,
and
now you-
expensive that they didn't even ask for. But I'm like, but you know what would be awesome? And it's so stupid because I'm like, it's a shitty example to set. Like if
It
they
really
just
is.
ask for this stuff, and I should just give them that.
yeah.
But I'm like not okay with it, and I
think-
should be.
I think for me, like 2 out of the 3
Mm-hmm.
literally didn't ask for like crazy stuff.
Yeah, what are teen boys asking for? Clothes, shoes.
Clothes, shoes, like one, like, but so they're all into different shit.
Yeah.
So I got one that's like sort of like clothes, and then the only problem is like the shoes that he asked for are like the how now all of the retro fucking Jordans are out, right? But he don't want just the retro Jordans. It's got to be like the retro Jordan 5s in this color scheme.
Oh yeah.
So
So you're gonna end up spending $400 or $500.
Yeah, so tack on another, because I saw in one of the malls around here, they actually have a lot of the retro Jordan styles, but they don't have all those color schemes.
The color waves are the ones that make it.
Those are the ones
Yeah,
that.
man.
So in this particular store, they were like say like 200, but then the sort of special color schemes are like double that price somewhere else.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, and then you got to go on either the apps or the sites. That
Yep.
got you. Hey, I might have a sneaker plug. Let me know. Like it's weird, man, because I should be okay, and I'm really glad because they both of them have done really good about. They tend to ask for experiences now instead of stuff.
cool.
And then for Christmas, they it was like gave us a list of stuff. But like I said, like my daughter, there's like 7 books on her list of stuff, like literally just books. And then my son, same thing. He's got like 3 or 4 books. And then of course my son's always the one who has to ask for some shit that's fucking hard to find. So he asked for like an old Nintendo DS console, whatever, but a specific color. And then he wants a specific game. So I got to go like track it down from some retro game shop or eBay and hope I don't get ripped off or whatever. Like, so he's always the one that's like a little bit out there.
Yep.
But my daughter's like so easy. Now, the only thing is that like she may ask for clothes or a pair of shoes now, and she's at that age where it does get a little more expensive. So
Yep.
you're like, oh, you buy one shirt, and you're like, fuck, like, but it's still like boring stuff. Like,
yeah. It's not the cool shit anymore. My one son who's into clothes, so he likes these like I don't know these fucking crazy. I call them crazy jeans. They
Yeah.
got fucking whether they got shit hanging off of them or like funky ass designs. Dude, we were at the mall like last weekend. They're $200, bro,
for the jeans.
for fucking jeans, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like we there for jeans, $200, and it wasn't a brand that I recognized. But like this could be because I'm old and not into
What was the
fashion.
brand?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Oh, okay. I'm like, fuck. I'm trying to think if I've ever spent $200 on jeans. I feel like I have. Not a lot, but I definitely feel like I have. Once or twice.
Yeah,
It's not something I'm looking to do, bro. I'm having as a dad, I'm having a tough time. This will be the first Christmas that I can think of where I'm not building something like, you know, early morning Christmas or overnight, you know, to have ready for them the next day. And I'm like, I'm not okay with it, bro. I should be. I might go adopt like a Chinese toddler just so I can have some more. Christmas is a building something. I'm like, yo, let me build a Barbie dream house or something, bro. I'm like, damn, like you know, your life, like, it's like you bitch about it the whole time you're doing it, and you're tired and you're exhausted, and you know, you're up all night like doing this stuff. But then when it's not happening, I'm like, oh man, like,
Bro, I'm excited.
I gotta get there. I'm not there yet. I'm mourning it.
I'm excited. As a matter of fact, I'm telling these fuckers, listen, you gotta sleep an extra few hours this year. Because, dude, they notoriously get up like really early. You know, like say like 5 a.m.
On any day or just Christmas?
No, just on Christmas.
Okay.
And the thing was, you know, in the past, because we did the whole Santa Claus shit thing, then we would have to wait until they went to sleep to kind of like set everything up.
And then didn't fall asleep until like 3:30.
Yeah. So we would literally get like 2 hours sleep, and then they would be coming in the room to wake us up.
Ugh.
And they'd be like, Santa came. And so this year I could be like, no, fuck you, go back to sleep.
Fucking go back. Do they still believe in Santa?
No.
Do any of them? Nah, so they don't do
No,
the
man.
little Santa
After
thing.
they went into high school, I put my foot down.
You're like, nah, bro. You know
I'm like,
who-
you can't. No, I'm like, we are not.
That was my paycheck. Fuck this guy. Sick of him taking credit.
No, man. It was more like we cannot send him to high school believing in Santa Claus.
Oh, that'd be kind of funny. You're better than me. I'll just double down
You
on
would
that
have kept it going.
I think my kids just humor me at this point. I think they know. Like, we still have to do the elf thing with them.
Oh,
Yeah. And they still-
So we're doing that, but
Yeah.
they know. So
That
now
it's you
just,
guys?
It's just a game.
No, fuck that. Then you're gonna make me look stupid hiding his elf and you know what's up? Nah, then we're all partaking. Like, we're trading. Every night somebody gotta come up with a different plan for the elf. No, my kids still humor me. My 14-year-old, she's like, she'll still be the first one in the morning that's looking for the elf. And I know she's
That's
gotta
cool,
know.
man.
But yeah. So I know she's gotta know, but I think, you know, she's just like, I'll humor you guys if it gets me, you know, a couple extra books, whatever this year. She's like, but yeah, man.
You know what you do, man? Build her a bookshelf.
So she asked for shelves. So I'm glad you mentioned this because she asked for shelves, but she asked for floating shelves. So it's just a piece, and I just got to stick it on the wall. I can't even build it. So I'm like, listen, they're screwing me in every way. You know what I might do? And she doesn't have this on her list. She don't listen to pod, so we're fine. She, at least I don't think so. We'll find out. She likes these chairs.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, these chairs are pricey, but there's a character that they just release for this chair, and they tend to, when they do those like character waves or whatever, they're like limited, and they don't really release them again.
Okay.
So I thought about getting her one of these, and that would like scratch my itch of, I guess, building something overnight and then being the quote unquote expensive gift or whatever.
Right.
But then the other part of me just keeps going back to like, should I just let it be and be grateful that they're not picking like super
Yeah, because you
expensive,
could
like-
always buy the chair.
for sure.
Doesn't have to be
But that's the
ridiculous.
problem. Is I would always just buy the chair. This is why they don't have fucking anything to ask me for Christmas.
Yeah. So listen, next year,
I'm a sucker, and my daughter knows it. My daughter milks it, man.
dude, next year, don't buy them shit. And
whole year?
Save it. Yeah, you buy them necessities and then save that shit for the end.
Be wearing sneakers that are 2 sizes too small. Better wait for Christmas or your birthday.
Cut the front out, baby.
They're sandals
Wear them
now.
like sandals.
And get Crocs like all your other lame ass friends. Like, oh man.
Dude, what's going on with this Otani, man? You see, Otani got his new fucking his new contract.
Dude.
It's $700 million.
Is just, I don't even, the sports part doesn't matter. The fact that this is a $700 million 10-year deal is just, yeah, I mean, historic, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
We're getting to the $1 billion contract mark here within a handful of years. This is already the largest contract in the history of sports. I guess if you don't count, no, Messi didn't accept that $1 billion
No, he never did.
Saudi deal,
But
right?
that was
So-
that was a 1 year, wasn't it? Or 2 years?
2-year deal for like $1.3 billion or
Yep.
something, whatever it was. Like $700 million a lot. But then there's all these weird caveats.
Yeah,
that
so what is it? Because I
he's
heard
taking only 10 mil of it over the 10 years. He's taking 2 mil a year. Or no, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think that's right. He's taking 20 mil. So he's taking 2 mil a year for the 10 years. And then he's deferring 680 million of it between 2034 and 2043. So they're going to pay him all after the 10 years initially expires.
Why?
So he says, and the whole deal is supposedly that it's a very team-friendly deal where it doesn't affect their salary cap now, because so teams have a luxury tax. So the way they can calculate, you essentially you have to pay a luxury tax for every dollar you're over this like preset threshold, and it goes up and down every year, but mostly up. So he's saying that this is a way for him to get the Dodgers to be able to afford more talent and build like a World Series roster around him, and his goal is to win championships. Cool. I also think it's California. The tax rate is astronomical. 10 years from now, you're probably not there anymore. I don't know where you live, but you're probably not paying California taxes anymore.
Yeah, but but if you're paying out of, how does that work? If you're paying out of
where
California,
your residency is.
So he just goes, I'm going
to move to Florida. I'm going to move I don't even move to Japan or go back to, to me, this is a tax play more than anything because he makes close to $50 million a year in endorsements, I think is what I read. So the $2 million from the team is like, nothing, you're not giving them a discount. Yeah. And then you're going $700 million at Florida tax rates. You're paying $300 in taxes, $350 probably. I'm not giving you $350 million, especially if I know I have 50 coming. And then when I retire, if I could then go make $750 million and then maybe get to keep 5 of that instead of 4 or 350, I'm gonna do that. So I think more than anything, it's got to be a tax play. I'm sure, yes, it does help the team. It is a team-friendly deal. But it's just, I think more than anything, and I'm like, this is actually a really smart way to do it. Do you start to see people do this more, where they defer their money maybe to their post-retirement days, especially when you live in these high California and in New York. And then what does it do then? Like if you're the teams, and these teams, they're billionaire owners, they have a lot of power and influence. Do you start to go like, hey, this is impeding our ability to sign top talent because of the tax rates? Like if you're in New York and you have a $700 million contract, I think you only end up with like 360 of it, bro. Like it's like the math is really crazy. And I think it's the same thing in California because you're paying a state income tax rate, you're paying a federal income tax rate, you're paying local, then in California, you can't sell a piece of property that's over a certain amount without paying this other. Like it's just, you're making it really difficult for rich people to want to live, which is why you have this influx of people coming to Florida from like New York and all that.
Yep.
At some point, something's got to give. Like you also have some of the highest populations in the country, but you're taxing them at the highest rates. Like it can't be because you need it all. It's just, I don't know, man. Like it just seems counterproductive.
It's a smart move, especially because he's getting all this money from endorsements.
Yeah.
It's so strange, man, that if they paid him nothing, he's still a really rich guy just from endorsements. Is the future to have, how like WNBA has, and other sports too, a lot of fucking like different patches. The NBA is starting to do it too with these fucking sponsors.
Yeah, you do it like what soccer does across the soccer jerseys. Yeah.
Is the future that these companies pay salaries?
Probably. You sponsor a player.
Yeah. Right, you sponsor a player.
Dude, but who could afford to pay $70 million a year for Ohtani? If you're a company sponsor. Like it would have to be like a Boeing or, Apple, I guess, a Microsoft, Amazon, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then how many people could you do that for? But it's not. But yeah, maybe you have them sponsor the star athlete on every team.
Or you split it.
Right? Yeah, right. A bunch of sponsors, like pool, kind of like a boosters in college, I guess.
Yes.
It's just the finance landscape across sports is going to be really fascinating to watch because you can't, like from a tax perspective, if you're these players and you watch this Ohtani move, it's like, oh wait, I could defer my salary, get paid at the time. I go retire down to Florida anyway, go to Tennessee, Vegas, wherever, to states with no income tax, and you just go there. You move out of the country, it complicates things a little bit. You still have to pay like income tax rates, and then that's a little more convoluted. But like if you're making this money from endorsements and you're him, presumably you're going to get richer. He already lives in California, in Los Angeles, because he played for the Angels. So he's very aware of what it is that he has to pay. So maybe it was like, I got what kind of contract and I got to keep how much? Like, fuck that. I just find it hard to believe that this is strictly I want the team to have enough free money and not pay the luxury taxes high.
No, man, it makes a ton of sense.
And the other part of this, I don't know if you saw, there's a clause in his contract that if 2 of these top executives get fired, he's allowed to opt out, which is the most brilliant thing if you're an executive ever for job security and you want a job security for the next 10 years. Because it's not like, because it could work against you, right? You fire this guy and you want Ohtani to leave so that you don't have to pay him. But baseball contracts are fully guaranteed.
Right.
It's the only sport that fully guarantees your contract. So it's like you can't even use that in the opposite direction where you use it as a way to get rid of Ohtani. It's like if you fire these guys, you risk Ohtani wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Because he could just opt out of his deal. Now, I mean, that's a big ass deal to opt out of. But who knows, bro? 3 years from now, somebody gets $1 billion contract and he's still playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want $1 billion now. Like, over.
Fuck, man. I wonder who that would be, because you would
somebody whose name we don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some kid who's 18 right now playing in the high school all-star game in February.
They start early, man. So he's probably 14 or 15.
Yeah, he's probably just played in a Little League World Series.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna get a 10-year whatever deal. But good for fucking Ohtani, man.
Bro, how we doing on time?
We're 55 minutes in, bro. So we're right on there.
Good. Do we want to go with actually before we get into the finale? What's going on with Mr. Beast?
Dude, he did the thing with the kid in the grocery store. Did you see this?
No.
It's kind of fascinating. So,
but I like Mr. Beast, so
I do too, man. And he, this guy's building wells and he's feeding every homeless person in America. He's giving out eyeballs. Like the kid's like, he's a good kid, man.
Oh, I forgot about the eyeballs.
Bro, he's doing just all kinds of stuff. This was an interesting, I don't even know if you call it a stunt, but whatever, this video. He did he paid this guy $10,000 per day for every day he could live in a grocery store.
Now, what are you able to do in the grocery store?
So that was the thing that wasn't clear to me, because what started happening was he started changing it. So like at first it was like he started, it was like normal.
Yeah.
And then he had to give away, I think if I understood it correctly, every single day he was there, he had to give away $10,000 worth of shit from the grocery store, right? And so you just start giving away food and other stuff.
But giving away to who?
To like people who showed up. I'm just gonna give you $10,000 for groceries or product or whatever. Like and then what happened was the kid made it to like 30 days, and it started getting wild, bro. It was like, well, we're shutting off the lights now, and then it would be like, we're shutting off the air conditioning, and we're like, and so it just kept up, like making it more uncomfortable for the guy to be there.
So was the guy getting anything in return?
The guy gets $10,000 per day that he stays inside of the grocery store without leaving.
He stayed there for 30 days.
He stayed for 45. Oh! How long do you think he would have lasted in a grocery store? For 10 grand a day?
I mean, like, what's he sleeping on? Just the floor?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, bro, you live at the grocery store. You can put some shit together. I put a bunch of Bounty paper towel things together. Some Charmin. Make a makeshift bed.
Oh shit, man, dude! 45 days, you get 450 grand.
And he got 450 grand. You think for 10 grand for 10 G's a day, man?
I would imagine every day that you talk about like living day by day.
Yeah.
You like. Yo, I can stand this for another 10 G's.
Another one day, yeah. Oh, you guys got to think about that next day.
The next day.
Yeah, just gotta suck this up for 10 grand. How many people doing that shit for $37 a day at whatever shitty job they have? You're like, bro, I can do this.
I was gonna say, man, I do that shit for a lot less than that.
Like I do it for 1/100th of a percent of the. Now, yeah, I was like, fuck,
is Mr.
dude.
B's hiring?
10 grand a day in a grocery store by yourself.
What kind of grocery store is it? Is it like a bodega?
It's a Publix type.
Oh, so it's fucking nice.
It's a full blown.
They should have put that nigga in a fucking bodega in New York City, man, with the fucking rats.
Bodega. Nah, but the food was slap. He got access to all kinds of.
Yeah, dude. But at night, if the rats was coming out, bro, that he ain't lasting 45 days, bro.
You're right, man. Those rats are big, bro. You got like Master Splinter walking around. All the bodegas in the thing, they are pretty big, man.
Practicing like a fucking dojo over there, bro. Yeah, no, you not hanging out in that.
Hell no. Oh, man.
All right, bro, let's close it off, man. Talk to me about George Santos.
Bro, okay. So you had to hear George Santos, right? He's a U.S. congressman.
I have not.
So he is currently expelled for spending campaign funds on OnlyFans.
Oh no!
You didn't know about this?
No,
dude. So he's on. So he spends campaign funds that people donate. For obviously to his re-election campaign to run his whole thing, and he spent that money on his OnlyFans subscriptions. I don't even want to know who he was subscribed to, but I think it would be fascinating to like go down. Yeah, maybe it would be kind of fun to see what he was subscribed to on OnlyFans.
Oh, you didn't see?
No, I didn't see. It just said he was.
So I mean, but
campaign funds on
you can
OnlyFans.
speculate, right?
Which, not for nothing, it could be. you know, in a good way, but it could also be in a. I mean, we know what most people do on OnlyFans. Which, bro, have I ever told you the story about the OnlyFans thing that? Oh man, so job many ions ago. Let's just say that I had access to corporate credit cards, and there was a certain individual that you know, like usually you review charges on corporate cards.
Yeah.
And there was a certain individual there who had charges to OnlyFans, and it was like the $5 a month, $10. It was clearly subscriptions that he had, multiple, not one, multiple subscriptions to OnlyFans.
Get the fuck.
And you confronted this person. He's like, "Oh, it must have gotten stolen, the card." But I think he accidentally used a corporate card instead of a, you know, how like your Google,
or maybe he didn't
instead of
accidentally use it.
Yeah, or he meant to deliberately do the
And
but you know,
you
just
figure it's not, they're not high charges, right?
no, it's $4.99 thing, but it's like
Yeah.
multiple. He's like subscribed to like 4 or 5 of them. I was like, this guy's appetite is. And then I was like, I wish
like,
he would
you know-
tell you who.
You're like, you got porn for free on the internet, right?
Like, you know, you could just Google this, right? Like, but I'm like, that I was curious because I was like, I wish it would tell me which channels, because that would have been even more fascinating.
Yeah, that
to
would
see.
be. But you know what, man? Like, I always feel like you can find all that shit for free somewhere on the
Yeah, I
internet.
don't understand what our
Dude, I think it's
path of least resistance.
No, I think it's the, like, you can't see that particular person.
But you could if you looked hard enough.
Maybe not. But I'm saying that you could, but you could probably. But here's my point: like, you could see, you know, 100. Whether let's say it's a woman, right? You can see 100 women that are way better looking, blah blah blah, but you can't see her.
So it has to be.
It's almost like yo, I have to have that.
Listen, if there was ever a positive for too much porn on the internet, I would say that I am more intrigued now by people in clothing. Just lingerie or a bathing suit. I'm like, oh, she looks,
like-
there's so much naked people on the internet now that it's not even like fun anymore. You're like, oh, can you put the pasties back on? It was better when I had to imagine this. It's like, it's too much. It's like, it's officially gone overboard, bro.
Dude, my son told me the other week, he's like, he thinks he's getting desensitized to porn.
Dude, fucking A, bro.
I'm like-
It's in his face all the time.
Dude, and it's funny, man, like having teenage boys and them having access to the internet. And we don't regulate that, right? Because for me as a parent, I go, you're gonna have to deal with that shit being available forever.
Yeah,
So
like
you have to learn how to deal
at
with
that age, right? You're gonna, dude. Listen, and good.
Dude,
he
if
came to
we-
you to tell you that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know that we,
a mature thing to do.
Dude, when we were 6, or when I was 16, right? Like I didn't have access to it like that.
No, I did.
but now it's nuts. Yeah, like
I
you
would say
grew.
I did, but
Yeah, the internet was around when you were
it
16.
was slow though, man.
Yes.
Like I was stuck watching the 2-minute trailers. That's what we had, and we had to wait 4 hours for them to download. I was making plans for tonight.
Off of Napster.
Yeah, I was doing it first thing in the morning before school. Like, all right, making tonight's plans. Let me download. Hopefully, it was done.
And then you find, and then it is done in the files.
It was Kazaa. Yeah, bro.
I remember that.
Oh, bro. Every computer in the house was just obliterated with viruses because I needed a 2-minute clip from Bang Bros.
Shout out to Bang Bros. Yo, and on that, tell them where they can find us.
If you are not, I didn't even get to the best part of George Santos, bro.
Oh no,
He's
didn't?
also selling his own vids on Cameo now to raise money because he's broke because he can't get a paycheck. Anyway, if you're not already following us, Google the George Santos shit at the Carbon Footprint Podcast on IG, YouTube, Facebook, at Carbon FP Pod on X, Duck, and at Carbon Footprint Podcast on TikTok, and then all your favorite audio platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, all of them. So yeah, check us out on there.
And as always, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.